What we're going to do today is and it's windy and it's sunny, so I'm wearing my sunglasses and my hair is going to look like Kramer. But anyway, what we're going to do is install what we call a loop style cover lift. It comes in a box, it looks like this. So what I do first is I lay out my corner posts. And you lay out your corner posts because they have holes pre-drilled in them. So you lay them out in the pre-drilled way. So this one, the long one, is going to go to the inside. You can see there's holes here. So this one, the long one goes on the inside, the holes on the top, and you do the same thing over here. This one will go here, and this one right here will go like that. So I laid that out. The next thing I do is I take my bottom mounts, and if you look at these mounts, they say patent pending on them, and I put them up like that because I'm funny like that. But if you look down here on the back of the tub, they're not going to mount under there. So what I'll do is mount them right on the bottom corners like that right there. So what you do is first slip them onto the L's like this. Slip this one on the L. And you have 4 posts that go between. You got 2 short, 2 long. The long ones, and this is a universal cover lift, by the way. It fits almost all tubs unless they're oversized for some reason. If they're undersized, you're going to have to cut the post off. On this particular tub, this tub is 86 by 86, so I won't have to do any cutting. So basically, you just slip them on the inside like that. You get the screws. You need 8, and what I use is square bit screws right here. Show the screws. There they are. And I'll change to a square bit. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this part of it. And you don't have to worry about any of your sides at this point. We're just going to do the basic mounting. So what I'll do is start right here. Put my first screw in on the top corner. And make sure that it's in a place. This is a Viking hot tub, so there's wood right behind us in this little area that we're in. I'm going to come to this side and do this one. Pull my post out. And it takes 18 to 24 inches off the side of the tub that you're flipping the cover for the cover to have enough room to flip. The cover lift's real easy to do. You just got to take your time. Make sure you do your measurements so that the cover lift is congruent. And I'll show you what I mean in a moment. Alright, so I'm going to turn that up. Turn this up. I'm going to put my short poles in there. See, there's 2 that are short. And sometimes they'll want to flip down. Windy today, so they might want to. Excuse me. Then you take your last long pole, you put it in here. And the reason I assemble it with the screws up is if you turn it the other way with the screws down, the screws will actually tear into the skin of the cover in the hinge. That and we're going to adjust this. I'm going to pull this out just a little bit. Alright, so this next step is critical. You need to pull the cover where it is about right to the back of the tub. And so you can see this one's got a skirt on it that is not quite right, but see, I'm going to push the cover. I want the cover to be at the edge of the outermost part. This has a little rail right there, a little head. So I'm wanting it to be there. So now I will flip my cover back. I've got it in the hinge. I'm going to go to that side and show you. I've got that one adjusted. What I want to do is I want it to be back like that. So when I flip the cover, it fits up in that hinge right there. So I'm going to pull it and kind of tuck it into the hinge. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, but you've got to do it and not move the cover. But to make sure that you're in the right spot, you need a tape measure. And what you do is measure this part right here. That is 19 and a quarter. And I come over here and make sure that this one is 19 and a quarter as well. You're real close. In fact, I'm gonna make the other one be 19. So this one is 19. I'm gonna bump this one back just a hair. Make it be 19. Next thing you got to do is make sure that you have meat from the post in there. Sometimes this post, like there's no meat right here, so I'm gonna pull the post, I'm gonna twist it and pull it up. So now we've got some there, here, there, and there. You do the same thing on both sides while keeping it at the 19-inch measurement. The reason you want to keep it at the 19-inch measurement is you want to be sure that when you flip the cover up, it's even. If you don't do that, what will happen is you look like you're right, it'll be close, but you'll see the cover hanging at an angle. So if they're both exactly the same, the cover will hang straight. I'm going to double check on 19. Alright, now I'm going to put the screws in. And I put my up and down screws in first, as far as my post here, because that's the most critical length. The width can vary a little bit and you really would never notice it. Alright, so these are self-tapping screws. They have a, it looks like a drill bit tip at the end of it. And you just find the hole, put it in the hole. And we're going to do that for all of these upright screws. It helps to put a little bit of pressure on there. And I do have the drill backed off a little bit so we don't break the head of the screw off when it goes in. I'm letting the clutch it down. I've got it on about 8. Alright, so now we're going to close the cover. I'm going to check my width. And you can see where the post, what you want is the edge of this to be at the edge of the cover. You don't want it up in there like that. Just pull it out like that. Make sure your other side looks like that. So you actually pull it apart and you flip it up and you do the same thing. Make sure that you've got some bar in there on both sides. So what I do usually is I'll do one side and I pull it off so we're not getting metal on top of the cover. Alright, so I'm going to pull a little bit out, pull it apart just a hair like that to give it a little extra width at the top. My glasses are also safety glasses, by the way, so that works well. Alright, so now I'm going to do the bottom. And the bottom actually work out where when the cover lift is closed, they're straight up. Alright, so now it will hold the cover up. So I want to show you the position that you want the cover in. You don't want the cover lift away from the tub. You don't want it slinging back. What you want is the bar straight up. So you can see with the bar straight up like that, the cover is actually tilting a little bit like that. But what that does is gives you a little bit of forward progress, so when you go to flip it back on, it's as simple as doing that. You just push it back on. And the other thing that it does is if you go back here, the weight of the cover is going to pull on the chains. If you leave it straight up, there's really no cover weight here. You can see that I can hold it with my finger. There's no weight there with it straight up like that. So I'm going to get my chains. What I do is make my chain, the screw that I put here for the chain, be at the level of the bottom of the edge of the shoe. So I'm going to measure that out and get that started down into here. And you can't go all the way in, you just start it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. Find my machine thread screw and my other chain. And this is just my method of putting the cover lift on. There's, of course, everybody's got their way, but I've put hundreds and hundreds of them on, so my system works quickly and easily. Alright, so what we're going to do is we need both chains and we need this. So I'm going to pick the first one. I'm going to close my cover again. And I'm actually filling the tub up. So while I'm filling the tub, I'm going to be sure and remember. So I'm going to eyeball this first one. I'm going to look right at the edge at the bottom of the tub. And you turn that like that and lock it in. There's one. So now what I'm going to do is measure from here to there and just go to the other side and duplicate that. So 11.5 inches. The biggest thing you want is it to be even with the other side, so their attachment point is about right. Alright, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to do this side first. You have 6 screws that look like this. They're not self-tapping, they look like regular screws in your box, and those are the ones that attach the three-way part of this. And what I do is put the lift straight up, come out here, and I always put 2 in the front because it's stronger, because your pressure is going to be this way. So if I put them like this with the 2 in the front widthwise, then that's going to work the best. One. Two. Just take the pressure off of it, put the third one in. 3. Then you screw the middle one in. And I don't make it real tight. You want it to be able to move a little bit. And now we'll go to the other side and do what we just did right there. But this time I'm going to flip the cover on it. And so I'll have to actually put a little bit of forward pressure on it to hold it where it needs to go. But what I do is hold the forward pressure on it and look at it and make it be straight up. That is a working cover lift. You can see you can do like that, flip it, close it. When you get ready to open it, you grab it, flip it, one hand, boom, don't let it sling back, and it stays right there in place. Now the last thing that we do is we have what we call back straps. And I have many different kinds. On this particular one, I'm going to put this style back strap on it. But I have these styles. So if your system doesn't have this kind of a buckle on it, a lot of them have, this is open. This particular one's not, but you can actually feed this through there and use that. That's a double style. That's kind of a universal style that works on most. This particular cover has this kind of a clip. You can see if your clip looks like this, this will work. It's just like that. And what we do is put screws in. Pull it straight down where it's at. It doesn't have to be crazy tight, just straight as you can get it. Put a screw in. And what happens is people will hook the clips like, they'll hook this kind of clip on there. They'll forget about the back. They'll unhook the front, flip it back, grab it, pull it off of there, and the first thing you know, they break these buckles off. So with this setup, you can see that the cover will not open. I can flip this back and the cover will loosen. And then you can close it. It'll tighten right back up and you do just like that. And that's exclusively from the Spa Guy. I have a patent on that. So check us out. Check the Spa Guy, check Spa Guy Parts, check Spa Guy Forum, iSpaGuy.com, check SpaGuyParts.com, check TheSpaGuyInc.com, check all of them.